We're in beautiful New Hampshire with Ron Warhurst, who had the honor of marrying Tim Broe and Bekah Aavang yesterday. Was that the first time you married somebody?
Yes, that was the first time. It was quite an experience. It was a great honor, a pleasure to be able to participate with all the people that were here in their marriage. Timmy called me several months ago and said, "I don't want to impose on you." And Tim's like, and I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, Beck and I would like you to, officiate at the wedding." And I said, "It would be a great honor, a great pleasure." And I was a little nervous about it. Never done anything like that before. You coach them running around in circles is a little different than standing up there in front of all the people and saying, "Do you or don't you?" So that was a great pleasure. And then Timmy called about a month ago and asked if Luke would be the ring bearer. And I said, "Well, he's sitting right next to me. Why don't you ask him?" So after a brief conversation, it was yes, no, yes, yes, yes. Hand the phone back to me. So that's how. And we were all coming anyway. Wouldn't have missed it for the world. A marriage is not created by law or ceremony. It begins in the hearts of two human beings and grows with understanding and time. As Tim and Bekah publicly affirm their love today, we are observing only the outward signs of an inward union that already exists. The bride and groom have asked that we take a moment to remember the friends and family who could not attend today, and to honor the loved ones who are here only in spirit. Tim and Bekah, you've made a very serious and important decision in choosing to marry each other today. The quality of your marriage will reflect the effort you've put into nurturing your relationship. Tim, do you understand and accept this responsibility, and do you promise to do your best each day to create a loving, healthy, and happy marriage?
I do.
It says Tim, so I have to say I do. Bekah, do you understand and accept this responsibility, and do you promise to do your best each day to create a loving, healthy, and happy marriage?
Yes, I do.
We have come together today to celebrate the love you have found with each other. By being here with you, each of us is declaring our support for your decision to join together this marriage. To the guests, as family and friends, you form the community of support that surrounds Tim and Bekah. With your presence here today, you are being called upon to uphold them in honoring and loving each other. Always stand beside them, never between them. Offer them your love and support, not your judgment. Encourage them with your kindness and loving hearts. And honor this marriage into which they have come to be joined today. The couple has asked Jason and Emma to read from Bekah's favorite author, Jodi Picoult. Jason, you first.
Love is not an equation. It is not a contract. And it is not a happy ending. Love is the slate under the chalk, the ground under the buildings rise, and the oxygen in the air. It is the place you come back to, no matter where you are headed. No matter where you are headed.
Thank you. Emma?
I know what love is. When you find the person you are supposed to love, bells ring and fireworks go off in your head, and you can't find the words to speak, and you think about him all the time. When you find the person you are supposed to love, you will know by staring deeply into their eyes.
Thank you. Tim and Bekah, your marriage will, no doubt, be full of surprises. Some of them will be welcome, while others will test you as a couple. As you make your vows to each other today, remember that neither one of you is perfect, but together you form a strong and lasting bond. Tim and Bekah will share the vows they have written for each other. Tim?
Well, I don't normally write stuff because I don't like formalities. Bekah, from the day I met you, I knew you were a really special person. And I'm very grateful and I'm very lucky that you are persistent in your pursuit of me. And you wouldn't take no for an answer. The last 3 years really have been the best 3 years of my life. And I feel very blessed that I have been given all the gifts I have. A lot of people say that marriage is about sacrifices, but I don't feel like I've had to make a sacrifice one day with you. I do it all because I love you. And I love everything about you. I love your little quirks. I love that you're a vegetarian. I love your poor penmanship. I love it that you leave the lights on and you leave dirty dishes in the sink. But what I really love about you, and I have a long list here, is that you're one of the most caring, open-minded, accepting, smartest, hardworking, giving, big-hearted, wisest person I've ever met. You accept me for all my faults and all my shortcomings, and in all honesty, I feel really incomplete when I don't have you with me. I'm so lucky to be marrying my best friend. You make me want to be a better person, and I promise to continue to do that as long as you love me. And I promise to love you for the rest of my life.
When I say I love you, my whole body aches because I feel like it cannot even come close to describing how I feel about you. You complete my life in a way that I never thought was possible. I promise that I'll never take you for granted. The greatest, most genuine, most caring man I've ever met. Every day I have with you is so much fun. I feel like every day with you is too short, and all the time that I spend apart from you is way too long. And of all the things that I can vow to you in becoming your wife today, I can't say till death do us part, because I feel like one lifetime is way too short to have with you. I love you forever.
We'll have the ring exchange now. Jason, may I have the rings?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. This is for you, and this one's for you. It took me a while to figure which finger was it. In a healthy and happy marriage, love freely given has no beginning and has no end, and love freely given as no separate giver and receiver. May these rings be reminders of the unbroken circle of healthy and abiding love. Tim, please repeat after me. Take it out hard, pick it up in the middle, and kick at the end. Sorry, I forgot where I was. They told me I could ad-lib a little bit. Tim, repeat after me, please. As a sign of my love.
As a sign of my love.
And my knowledge that in becoming your husband.
And the knowledge that becoming your husband.
I am becoming much more than I am.
I am becoming much more than I am.
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
With the promise that I will love you.
With the promise that I will love you.
And keep my heart open to you.
And keep my heart open to you.
Today, tomorrow, and always.
Today, tomorrow, and always. Amen.
Bekah, please repeat after me. As a sign of my love.
As a sign of my love.
And my knowledge that in becoming your wife.
And my knowledge in that becoming your wife.
I am becoming much more than I am.
I'm becoming much more than I am.
I give you this ring.
I give you this ring.
With the promise that I will love you.
With the promise that I will love you.
And keep my heart open to you.
And keep my heart open to you.
Today, tomorrow, and always.
Today, tomorrow, and always.
Having publicly affirmed your love and commitment to each other today in front of your family and friends, it is my great pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. Tim, you may kiss the bride.
A little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Mr. and Mrs. Broe.
beautiful bull moose farm in New Hampshire with Amory Rowe, whose beautiful place this is. And we want to know a little bit about how you met Tim Broe and Bekah Aavang.
Well, Tim served on the roster of In the Arena, a nonprofit organization I started 5 years ago. He was, I believe, one of our founding athletes, one of the initial 7. And so I have known Tim for a number of years, was introduced to him by Chris Lear, who author of Running with the Buffaloes and Sub 4, Michigan Story. And so I knew Tim that way. And I met Bekah a year ago, May, when Tim brought her here, I think basically to show her around the place, to make sure she liked it enough for him to accept the job to come and be the head coach of the team that we were starting here. So, you know, Tim was wonderful. We had no doubts at all that we would love Bekah, and we do. She's been great.
We actually met Tim through Chris Lear as well.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's so funny. That's great. Yeah, I was hoping Chris could make it.
No.
But unfortunately, yeah, he and Sean are 2 young kids, and they got a lot on their plate.
Well, we had Ron Warhurst talk a little bit earlier about the early days with Tim, and we don't have quite as much on tape about Bekah, so we know she's a musician. So tell us some other things about her.
Gosh, Bekah is probably the most organized person I've ever met. She's been really helpful for us in terms of managing ITA's online social media presence. So she's done all of our Facebook and Twitter and our website. She has done all of that. But in terms of, I think, looking outside of her running specific ideas, she was an athlete herself. So she was an 800-meter runner at Bradley. I know that she has dabbled in triathlon a little bit, certainly before they moved out here. I think there's a wonderful story, I don't know if you've gotten it yet, about the way that Tim proposed to Bekah. Have you heard this?
No.
Oh, this is really cool. So shortly before they moved out here, Tim had taken the job. They'd come out and visited the farm, and they were due to move out here in August. And it was Bekah's birthday, and they had engineered a big going away party for Tim and Bekah, which was also, Tim knew, going to double as an engagement party. So for Bekah's birthday, he had a friend who flies. I think it must be Scott, who was in the wedding party, and he told Bekah, "I'm going to take you up in a flight, and we're going to fly up to maybe, I forget where it was, somewhere in Indiana, and have lunch and fly back." Meanwhile, Tim organized this whole thing. He goes out into his uncle's cornfield, and he mowed a wedding proposal into the cornfield. So they go up they get in the plane, they go up, they have lunch, they come back. Tim's got the ring in the plane with him. And, you know, at the appropriate moment, they sort of bank and they start coming over the cornfield. And Bekah was so taken with the view, she didn't even see the cornfield for quite some time. And apparently Tim was on sort of pins and needles, like, when is she going to see the marry me, Bekah? And as soon as she looked and saw it, he pulled out the ring in the plane and proposed to her. So they landed and went, I think, shortly thereafter to the party, which was then a going away party and an engagement party. So really, I think that's such a great story.
It is a great story, and it's more big ideas.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's a big. It took a lot of logistical work to pull that off. So all credit to Tim. Yeah.
Thank you so much for hosting such a wonderful wedding, and I really think they're going to be a great couple forever. So.
Oh, I think so too. I think it's just wonderful. So thanks very much for coming.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're going to get into a lot of trouble tonight. No, I'm in charge. Oh, that's right. You're in charge. Last night, actually. Oh, this is done. And I can actually work this
There's still time, Mark.
It's done, baby. It's done. You're down.
30 meters.
Hey, Bekah, I still have your bouquet, by the way.
I'm Aaron Denny, musician and DJ on the fabulous wedding today for Rebecca and Tim. Rebecca and Tim, I wish you guys all the best of everything, and it is truly an honor and pleasure to be working with you today.